For me, this is one of the hardest patches that I've ever had to decide who to pull for, and for what, even. Uh, Especially considering we don't know what will be in 1.5 or 1.6. We've heard, of course, rumors about Argenti and Huohuo, but we don't really know what they're going to do yet, so it's definitely difficult to make a decision. Because each of the characters, as they are right now, are excellent additions to an account. They'll likely be pieces in major teams that will be coming soon, and they themselves are just team enablers. So my TLDR for video is going to be just wait. Wait until we get some more information. That's just the TLDR. If you don't know exactly what you want or need, you don't have to pull them right away. You got about, what, 2.5 weeks for Jingliu? So definitely just hold on to it, you know? The biggest fear is that 1.5 and 1.6 could be absolute bangers of units, right? So holding off until you have the most information available to you just seems super important because you should be fearful. 1.5 and 1.6 could be very, very enlightening about the future of the game. But for me, right now, I'm suffering a lot because man, I really want to pull all these units and just be able to make content about them and such. Um, it would just be way nicer if I could just acquire every unit. But that's not really what we're doing here. It's a free-to-play endeavor. When I'm looking at my account, I desperately want some of the Eidolons that are going to be featured of like the 4 stars on Jingliu's banner. However, I don't really want her. I'm kind of hoping that the story will really sell me on her, and I'll end up wanting her more. But as it is right now, I would be pulling on her banner to get the 4 stars, really. But what's the number one rule? Never pull on a limited banner for 4 stars. It just doesn't work out for you. I mean, it can, but it's just not what you want to do. You have better odds of just getting the limited 5-star, really, than you do of E6ing or getting a bunch of Eidolons for whatever 4-star you want. So that's kind of where we're at. So I'm stuck in this world where I really want to create the Mono Quantum Dream Team for the sake of always having a viable team, and it's really just kind of future-proof in a way. And I'm stuck in between that and the other world where pulling for these units, they're really going to activate / enable some team compositions we haven't really been able to see yet. The trouble with this patch is that everyone is great or an enabler, and you can really compare them to Kafka in a way where that generates the Kafka effect, where basically other sub DPS or main DPS like Luca and Sampo are kind of transmuted into supports through Kafka's abilities, while also accomplishing their typical tasks. But it's just we're basically creating supports out of things that you typically wouldn't see as a support, which damn, pretty good. So Jingliu and Topaz, they both accomplish this. Jingliu's HP drain actually stacks with Blade's Retaliate mechanic. So this allows Blade to take the spot of a support by, instead of boosting Jingliu's damage directly, he just does his own to make up for the potential loss. So that frees up another support for another team. And he's definitely going to have a lot more break bar damage than the typical support units. He has an incredibly high health pool, which kind of nearly allows him to solo her own damage increase mechanic based off of team HP. They just have so much innate synergy, it's in bonkers. I wish I had Blade. Damn, unlucky. Sure, it requires 2 limited 5 stars to accomplish this, but over time, with these team comps theorized, people will eventually be able to save for them and acquire the teams that they desire based on the gameplay. And the team, it seems absolutely cracked and busted because Blade doesn't really care about the fact that he's losing HP. Mans does it to himself anyway. And Jingliu just gets to be an enjoyer, you know? The synergy between them it's really cool. It really reminds me of strategy games or deck building games or like MTG and stuff like that. It's really like an innate joy within me. It's just awesome stuff. And now moving on to Topaz. She actually operates in a very similar way, except she's this weird harmony / debuff hybrid on top of her already being a hunt unit that does a bunch of damage. I can see her being incredibly important in a Retaliate team comp, which, even if you have Clara, I don't see as being fully realized yet. So there's probably going to be more that's coming out later down the line that's really going to really get you up there. I think we'll certainly need more units to help fill the team in, but yeah, Topaz enabling the follow-up / counter teams is incredibly possible. She is probably going to be a fundamental piece of it in the future. So in terms of, trying to future-proof your account with certain team comps and varieties, it's like this banner is just too good. Or these banners for this patch are there's too much going on, man. I can't keep up. I think we still need more information and units to really define how good she can be, but Topaz, yeah, likely to generate some interesting first iterations in where she can be placed. She's also one of our first big fire units. That's something that isn't, Himiko. And Himiko is not real. We're going to stop pretending she is, okay? Listen, she's the mommy we all want, but she's just not there, man, okay? But, actually, it's kind of an interesting idea because, maybe she has some synergy with Topaz or something. Maybe Erudition gets a buff. Maybe you can see someone filling that kind of slot, making Erudition do more damage. And then, she does damage. And fine, it's like a weird, almost mono fire kind of, whatever. It's fine. And the last banner we see is actually Seal, the shining apple of my eye, and a huge desire of mine. You see, I didn't play during 1.0, and I kick myself in the ass each and every day I log in because I feel so stupid for not doing such. I really want to get her on my account, and that kind of brings up a lot of issues because the first half of the 1.44 stars of the banners are absolutely cracked, where the remaining units on the latter half of 1.4 are ass, okay? And you may be thinking like, oh, maybe, I have Cav, you have Cav on your account, Gwyneth, does she help you, cope with that? No, she's unloved, undesired, just like Luca and Sushang. They are both unloved and undesired. She's basically this fire Sampo / Pela hybrid weird thing creature, which is kind of nice for Kafka because, weakness matching and whatnot. But overall, I think she's going to be incredibly unimpressive if you don't specifically need fire. And if you're already in that case, Kafka's going to be just fine already as it is. So she's like this weird interstitial step of potential Kafka teams. It makes Kafka teams more flexible and technically stronger, but it's like she's a stepping stone that, you don't really need to step on. You can kind of just step over it, but it's there if you kind of, she's worthless. I don't care about her even a little bit. Not going to happen. I just can't see a world where she's actually meaningful. And not to mention, she's... If you did want her, you're pulling for a 4-star on a limited banner, which I gotta tell you what, you're already lost in the sauce, especially if you're free to play. So it's just not happening. Pulling for 4 stars, like I said earlier, just never worth it. You'll get unlucky and most likely probably top decked and kept. And your Stellar Jades are just going to be gone on to some limited 5-star you probably didn't want because, damn, that's how the cookie crumbles. So, yeah, just remember, pull for the 5-star limited units. Don't pull for the Mimi Dream of the 4 stars because they're meant to be a dessert that goes with your 5-star meal. For this reason, pulling for Seal kind of blows, which sucks for me because, I'm going to have to do that shit anyway. But if you lose 50-50, there's some real good winners here. Clara owners rejoice, for thee are eating well. Across the board, new synergies are coming, and we can already see some pieces of that puzzle. Claire is already underestimated, I believe, so these new units could really help put her on the map. She has a fascinating and unique kit, especially for the limited characters. So real quick, I'm just going to talk about some teams that could actually be pretty nice with Clara, and it's on pretty much all the characters here with 1.4. We could see Clara, Blade, Jingliu, Lynx as an unkillable auto team that's likely going to be able to clear MOC in 3 to 5 turns or something like that. If you're well built up, and you just do that on auto pretty much anywhere for any reason, and it's just chilling. Or you could see something like Clara Jinyuan, Topaz, and then you have a Soul Sustainer in Fujuan or Luocha as like a funny follow-up / counterattack meme team. I think it's pretty neat, but I still think there's a lot of work to be done there. So we're gonna have to work on that, I suppose. There's probably a better, there's probably just a better team for Topaz and Clara. That was just a quick draft, kind of mocked up. But I'd love to hear some of your suggestions in the comments. If you thought of some interesting combinations yourself, go ahead and leave them down there, okay? And yeah, let's just wrap this stuff up here. All of these units will have some value. So it's going to take some real soul searching to figure out what teams you can build and what you should pull for. I'm putting a lot of emphasis on the Mono Quantum Team of Dreams myself. So I'm probably going to be pulling for Seal, and that's pretty much it for this patch. But this could totally change if we get more information. So at the end of the day, just wait. Be God-fearing. These Hoyos, these Hoyo devs, they're playing with our hearts. They could really ruin your day. If 1.6 is back-to-back bangers, and then 1.7, 1.5 are just back. Oh, it's just, it's too much. Yeah, just don't make the mistake of pulling too early and then getting a character that you're probably going to end up benching. Yeah. And if you're pulling for waifus, well then, I hope that the team building aspects were helpful for you, and, best of wishes with your pulls. And, yeah, if you like this video, leave a like. If you leave some comments based on your recommendations for teams and other builds and that stuff of that nature. And, yeah, I'll be back once we get some more information on what the hell we're supposed to be doing here, because it's rough out here right now. I tell you what, we're eating good. And 1.4, the 5-week patch cycle, oh my goodness. The Pokemon event, oh my god, whoa!